Is Amazon KDP saturated? Is it too late to start low-content book publishing? In this video, I'm going to share with you the sales reports of some of my books to find the answers of these frequently asked questions. Keep watching till the end. Amazon KDP allows you to self-publish ebooks, paperbacks, and hardcover books for free. Besides this, it also allows you to publish low-content books like notebooks, planners, journals, and logbooks. So, it means that not only the authors, but also any person who can use graphic tools can make money with Amazon KDP. As a result, there is no doubt that the number of self-publishing authors and low-content book publishers is constantly increasing every year. YouTube gives us some details about the audience of our channels. That's why I know that Amazon KDP related channels are watched mostly from countries like USA, UK, Morocco, Nigeria, Australia, Canada, and some European countries. Let me show the search interests over time for Amazon KDP in some of these countries. This graph illustrates the search interest in Amazon KDP in the USA. As you see, after the beginning of 2019, people in the USA started to search more frequently both on Google and YouTube about Amazon KDP. And the current trend is still going up. And if we check the interest in Amazon KDP in the UK, like in the USA, we see that it increased after 2019. And the trend is still going up also in the UK. Here we see steady growth, especially after October 2022. On the other hand, if we check Morocco, people started to search around 2020. 1 year after the increase in USA and UK, and their interest in KDP increased more after the mid of 2021. Unlike from USA and UK, as you see, their search interest is decreasing nowadays. Lastly, I want to show you Nigeria also. You see that the interest in Amazon KDP started in April 2022, 1 year after Morocco, and it started to go down after August 2022. It's hard to interpret the reason behind these different trends in different countries. Maybe some of them thought they started later and the market was already saturated and gave it up. Or they couldn't get enough results due to the lack of knowledge in keyword research, listings, advertising, etc. But if we check the worldwide search interests, I can say that the interest in Amazon KDP has been constantly increasing since 2018. And there is no doubt the increase in the number of authors and books swiftly generates intense competition. That's why some people think Amazon KDP is saturated and give up quickly. Now, I will show you the sales reports of some of the books that I publish on different Amazon marketplaces in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. By the way, I have never ran ads for any of these books that I will show you. All of them are selling organically. I choose them because selling with ads can be misleading and not comparable. Let's start with this one. It's a low-content book that was published in May 2020 for a specific niche. And since its publication, it has sold more than 2,000 copies on one of the European marketplaces without any ads. When I published this book, the competition in this niche was not so high, and my book got some positive reviews and ranked quickly on the first page for the targeted keywords. For a long time, I observed that many people publish similar books to mine and run ads. But as I keep the price reasonable and my book has more than 50 customer reviews, I think it is not so profitable for them. I can say that Amazon KDP is saturated for this niche. So when I see such cases, instead of trying to compete with the bestsellers, I try to find low content book ideas for different niches. This one is the sales report of another book of mine. This book was published in May 2020. It's a low content book for personal use and can also be gifted to some people during Christmas holidays. That's why it sells throughout the year and its sales increase in Q4. As you see, its sales in Q4 increase every year compared to the previous year because the book has a sales history, positive customer reviews, and a ranking on the first page for my targeted keywords. I remind you that I never run any ads for this book. I gave this example to show you that when your book has a sales history, it can get stronger against its competitors and get more sales in the coming years like this. Okay, this is another book of mine. I published it on one of the European marketplaces in September 2020. This one is a dated planner for a specific niche for the year 2021. And as you see, it sold more than 500 copies without any ads in a short time. And I have to admit that I couldn't get the same success for this planner niche the year after in 2022 and also in 2023 because the competition has become intense for planners in the last few years. So this year I know that if I don't run any ads for this book, I can't reach the same results again. So in the coming weeks I will decide whether I should spend time and money on this niche or not. The fourth example is a book that was related to the school year. It was published in May 2021 and has sold organically almost 500 copies in a couple of months. Then it stopped. This niche was not so competitive in 2021, but the competition was intense in 2022. So I decided not to create a new version of this book in 2023 because researching and designing the interior pages takes a long time for this type of book. And I am not sure if it can be profitable with ads or not. Another one. This book was published in March 2022. It's a simple line notebook. And since its publication, it has sold more than 400 copies on one of the European marketplaces without any ads. It's a great example that shows the possibility of selling simple and line notebooks on Amazon even today. But I have to remind you that spacing between the horizontal lines is important for specific line notebooks like this one. I have a video on my channel where I showed how to control the spacing between the horizontal lines on Canva and Adobe Illustrator. So if you don't know exactly how to do it, you can check that video and create specific line notebooks like this one. The royalty of this book is not much, less than $1, but as it has a sales history now, I think it will sell more than 1,000 copies in 2023. Let's also check some of my books that were published in 2023. This one was published in the last week of 2022 and is a low content book that can be gifted to some people at the end of the year holiday season. Unfortunately, I was very late for the publication of it. Therefore, even though my expected sales were high, it has organically sold only 40 copies in 1.5 months. I showed you this example to indicate the importance of launching time for seasonal books. For example, I will try to work in advance this year and publish an updated version of this book at the beginning of Q4 this year. The second example from this year is this book. It was published at the end of February and has sold more than 100 copies on one of the European marketplaces without any ads so far. The peak season for this niche was in April, and Probably it can reach 200 copies in total in the coming months. But the royalty of this book is more than $2, so I'm quite happy with the performance of it. Okay, the last book that I want to show you is quite a new one. It was published at the end of April 2023, about 1 month ago. My target audiences were mothers for this book. The book was ready in advance, but I wanted to take the advantage of increased searches for Mother's Day gifts on Amazon. That's why I waited till the end of April to publish. And I think it was a successful launch. As you see, the book has sold around 40 copies on Amazon US without any ads so far. And I am expecting more sales in the coming months. Because after these sales, it was ranked on the first page for some of my targeted keywords. It doesn't have any reviews yet. I think if I can get some good reviews, the sales of this book may increase in the coming months. If we check all these books together on this graphic, you can see that it was possible to sell organically low-content books on Amazon in 2020, 2021, 2022, and it is still possible to sell books organically in 2023. I accept that Amazon KDP is saturated for some niches, and it is harder than in previous years to sell low-content books organically. But it doesn't mean that Amazon KDP is saturated. As I showed you, there are always some new opportunities. Now, let's check together how you can increase your organic sales. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, 70% of the customers never visit the second page of the search results. Therefore, somehow you have to be on the first page for your targeted keywords to get some organic sales. It's clear. I don't know if you watched my video about the factors that influence Amazon's ranking algorithm. In that video, I said that conversion rate and sales velocity were very important factors that determine your rankings on Amazon. If you don't know the calculation of sales velocity and conversion rate, I strongly recommend you watch that video to understand better. Sales velocity shows Amazon how much revenue they can expect to make in one day or over a certain period from your products. Normally, to calculate the sales velocity, there should be a sales history. But how does Amazon's algorithm deal with the new books that were recently published and have no sales history yet? Amazon's solution for this problem is giving the new books a honeymoon period after their launch. It means Amazon's algorithm gives more chance and visibility for the new products for their targeted keywords, or maybe even for the keywords related to their targeted keywords. We don't know exactly how long this honeymoon period is and how it works, but in this way, Amazon's algorithm tries to understand what your book is about, measure its conversion rate, and collect as much data as it can. Then, it calculates your book's product score and provides more accurate and relevant search results to its customers. I will try to show you an example now. As you know, coloring books are very competitive niche. When I search coloring books for kids ages 4 to 8 girls on Amazon, there are 10,000 results. And here, there are some products with Amazon Choice badge, bestseller badge, and many others with very low BSRs. It looks quite hard to rank your books on the first page among them. Sad but true. Look at the BSRs. They sell hundreds of copies each month. But if you check this book, it has no BSR. Let's check the product page. Look, it was just published last week on the 17th of May. So this product is still in the honeymoon period. So depending on its performance, the product score will be calculated to put it in the correct position in the search results of this keyword. As you see, it's a great opportunity for the new books. But what should you do to maximize your chance to sell some copies organically during the honeymoon periods? Firstly, your book title, subtitle, product description, and backend keywords must be optimized. Amazon's algorithm will show your books to different customers according to keywords in your listing. Therefore, choosing the right keywords in your listing is very important. I have a 30-minute video on my channel for keyword research, so if you haven't watched it so far, I recommend you watch that video. Secondly, you need to have a good book cover design. Since Amazon shows thumbnail cover images in search results, firstly, thumbnail size of your cover should draw the attention of your potential readers or customers among the other books on the search results page. I explained this subject in book cover design tutorial videos before on my channel. I also recommend you watch these videos to get more clicks for your books. Thirdly, as you know, the Look Inside feature is currently not supported for low-content books published without ISBN. A+ content is the only way to show the interior pages to your customer. Therefore, always spend time on A+ content creation for evoking a sense of quality and trust. Don't forget that A+ content increases the conversion rates for sure. Lastly, when you plan to publish a new book, check the newest arrival books for your targeted keywords. If there are too many new books, it may not be the right time for you to publish a new book for the same niche, because all these new books will compete with each other to appear on the first page during their honeymoon periods. That means, unfortunately, there will be less chance for all. Of course, if it's a seasonal product or niche, like Mother's Day, you should respect the timeline. So if you watch YouTube videos with clickbait titles like KDP niches to make $1,000 per month or $150 a day passive income KDP niche, think twice next time and think about what will happen if all people who watch the video create the same content around the same time. And when the YouTubers promote some worksheet generators, as some of them did some months ago, remember the honeymoon period. Believe me, the ones who think Amazon KDP is saturated are the ones who follow the crowd. So, do not follow the crowd. Walk your own path during your KDP journey. Let me know what you think. Is Amazon KDP saturated? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope this video was worth watching. If you think so, make sure to subscribe and like the video to support the channel. See you soon in the next video.